All right. So now her first thing is high blood pressure. Now, we know when you're dealing with high blood pressure, you're dealing with what? You're dealing with the kidneys and the adrenals. We're dealing with something called the cardio output. And what the cardio output is, matter of fact, here goes some right here. So, and we go through this a lot, but just for the sake of learning and healing. So you're dealing with the adrenals and the kidneys. Adrenals, they're the size of walnuts. They shape like pyramids and they sit on top of the kidneys. This is your cardio output. This is actually what's in control of the parasympathetic and the sympathetic nervous system, or what you call the autonomic nervous system. These things is what governs your melanin neurotransmitter and actually tell the heart valve, not the pump is the lungs, but the heart valve to open up and to release more volume of blood, or to actually close and decrease more volume of blood. Now, if this is out of whack and it is telling the actual cardio output to open up its valve mechanism more, let me find a heart so I can show you what I'm talking about. Now, this is a heart. Now, you see you got the aortas, you got the myocardium of the heart. Now, imagine the actual adrenal glands sending a melanin neurotransmitter signal to the aorta valve and to the veins of the actual heart and telling it to increase the blood. And how it does that is through the myocardium and through the chambers of the heart, it tells it to open up more by the centronels. So when the centronel tells it to open up more, now more blood is flowing and pumping through the veins and through the arteries walls more. Now, this is what happens. Once that happens, what happens is you start getting dehydrated, and you start dehydrating the vessels or the veins and the arteries, which cause the arteries to close up more. Let me find an artery for y'all. Let me show y'all this. Oh, here go an artery right here. So here goes some arteries, right? This is an artery. Notice that it's open, right? And then you start going through them and they start closing. You see how these arteries are closing, build up with cholesterol, build up with plaque, or sometimes they just actually get dehydrated and the elasticity of the cell starts to shrink. Now imagine you trying to move blood. See how blood is trying to move, but it's all clogged in and it's pressing against the arteries. This is what raises the blood pressure. You see that? And then it all is talking about the per beats per second and per minute. So imagine your heart is constantly doing this. It's not beating. It's just a chamber that opens up and closes, opens up and closes. In the back of it, you actually have electricity feeding it by way of the adrenal glands, telling it how much volume of blood to output. It's called the cardiac output. And it's out of whack, because you're not feeding it the right foods. You're not keeping it on alkaline foods. So it's mucus built up. It's cholesterol built up. It's acidosis attacking this area, because the kidneys is made to filtrate. But if the kidneys is not filtrating by acetylcholine, what happens is the acids and the acidosis start building up on the kidneys. Well, if it's building up on the kidneys, what's the next blowback? It's going to hit the adrenal glands. So now the adrenal glands is going through acidosis and being burnt. So now the electricity and the melanin neurotransmitters that's actually being produced by the adrenal glands is not communicating with the cardio output of the heart right. So it's telling the heart misinformation. So now the heart is opening up the heart valves and flushing blood out of there. Then it's closing it. Then it's opening it and it's doing it again. After a while, all this back and forth is going to wear and tear on the artery wall and on the veins. So what's going to happen is that elasticity of the veins is going to be dehydrated of all this H3O. So this is how the veins get shorter and shorter. Now, whenever this happens, remember, we got acidosis. So you got mucus that's going to come in and you got calcium that's going to come in. Y'all know when acids meet mucus and calcium, crystallization come in. So now you got cholesterol plaque starting to build up on the arteries and the vein walls. Now the blood can't get in, so it's going to press itself against the walls while it's trying to move throughout the body. Now it look like this. This is what you call high blood pressure. High blood pressure leads to stroke and heart attack, because eventually this gets fully closed and clogged and blood cannot make it through the pathways no more. So we see what we have to pay attention to. We got to go after the adrenal glands and fix the adrenals. Well, how do you go after the adrenal glands? You have to fix the kidneys. Now remember, the top part of the adrenals is called what? Systolic. That's the top number, which is supposed to be, let me write it down for y'all, which is supposed to be at a 120. All right. We're going to say 118 to 120. 118 to 120. All right. That's called systolic. These are the adrenal glands. The bottom part is what it's supposed to be 70. But for black people, for indigenous Americans, we're going to say 80. It can be at 80. All right. So this is systolic. This is diastolic. Diastolic is your renal functioning, or what you would call your kidneys. Systolic is your adrenal glands. Now, how do you do that? You have to start filtering the lymphatic system, because all the acids is backing up inside of the nephrons of the kidneys. These are nephrons. And inside these nephrons is full of acidosis, and they're being damaged. Now, remember, the kidneys are not only in control of blood pressure, but it's in control of pressurizing water and salt and potassium inside the bodies, inside the cells as well. So we need to check potassium. You probably got too much potassium in your body, and your body probably stripped of manganese. You see what I'm saying? So now the kidneys, the diastolic is not working right, backing all the acids up. The blowback is hitting the adrenal glands. The adrenal glands is not only in control of your cardio output and your blood flow, but it's in control of your sugars. It's in control of your steroids. It's in control of all the utilization processes within inside the body. So if you need to convert minerals and turn them into enzymes, that's not happening. If you need steroids and cholesterol to go heal a patch in the body, that's not happening no more. Cholesterol is just doing what the hell it want to do. It's getting stuck in arteries, getting stuck in the vena cava. Now all the elasticity of your cells is being corroded and clogged up, because whenever you got calcium that meets acidity and this acid meets mucus, crystallizations or solidification happen. Solidification of the artery wall brings on plaque. Plaque deprives the cells of oxygen and water, constricting the cells, keeping it from dilating. Now what? Blood can't make it through. But if blood don't make it through, you a short circuit. They call this a stroke, or they call it an aneurysm. So if blood don't make it through, which most of the time it does, now I got to push through. So imagine pushing blood through a hole this small. That's going to raise the what? The biometric pressure of the vessels. So this biometric pressure raises the blood, the BP and the cardio output. And then now that's what you call high blood pressure. So the first thing you have to do is realize I said that dehydration is what's causing it. Hydrate the body. H3O2. Get you some coconut waters. Go on an all fruit juice diet. Do not juice your grapes though. Get your anthocyanin game up. We talking about it. Anthocyanins. Get on fruits, berries, and melons. Make sure you eating it, hydrating the body, because the one thing I see is solidification and calcification. You can break that up. How you break it up? You use hydrative factors. Same thing. I tell you all the time. If it's a stain on the floor, right? What you going to use to get that stain up? You might use a little chemicals and a little agents, but you going to go get some waters to mix that in a mop bucket, or you going to put some water on there. Then you going to move the mop, because water breaks up shit. See that? So that's how you get all of that solidification and calcification up out of the arteries, hydrating the body. Next thing is you need to pay attention to the adrenal glands and the kidneys. I tell y'all what the adrenal gland herbs is all the time. Now, since you have hypertension, you can't eat no licorice root, because it'll kill you dead as a doorknob. So stay away from licorice root. But ashwagandha and wild yam root, this will be very, very good for you. Ashwagandha, wild yam root. Now we got to address the kidneys. What is your best kidney herbs? Your best kidney herbs will be cleaver's leaf. Your best kidney herbs will be juniper berries. Notice that purple, dark anthocyanin pigmentation, melanin pigmentations on juniper berries. That's good. It's an antioxidant, and it will open up your kidneys and your elimination pathways. You got cleaver's leaf. You got cleaver's roots. You got plantain leaf, and you have parsley. Parsley is very, very good. Now, you have an herb, amazing herb that breaks up calcification. It's called hydrangea root. Hydrangea root is amazing when it comes to breaking up solidification and calcification. So you can use that to break these things up while you're on your solid food vacation and hydrating the body. That will get your kidneys and your adrenals back online. Now we got to start adding more herbs in and start moving the lymphatic system, getting all the toxemia that we've been building up inside of our system out of our bodies. But your blood pressure would have been regulated itself within 7 days if you got on my herbs. So just off of that alone, off of high blood pressure, I would recommend that you get my blood builder and iron nourisher kit, or you get my kidney and adrenal kit from off the website. So what I would do is I would start with the kidney adrenal kit, to be honest with you. The blood and iron nourisher builder kit do come with more herbs in it, but I think the kidney and adrenal kit will have you cool on here. But we looking, you pre-diabetic as well. So now we got to talk about the pancreas, and we got to talk about your glycemic index. Make sure that you're not eating food that raises your glycemic index real high. You know what I'm saying? Like, for instance, grains like spelt, bulgur, wheat. All these things raises your glycemic index to 72 within a couple of minutes, so within 30 minutes. So stay away from gnarly grains. You see what I'm saying? Make sure you stand away from processed sugars like donuts and candies and stuff like that. And damn sure don't be drinking no sodas or no carbonated beverages, because all these things, the sucrose and the maltose and the dextrose, all this sugar within inside of there is hard to break down, because these are what you will literally call polysaccharides, and our body is not made to eat polysaccharides, which is complex sugars. Our body is made to eat monosaccharides, which is simple single sugars to break down and turn it into fructose and glucose, but we can yield ATP. You see what I'm saying? So make sure you get up off of these things. And we have to look at the pancreas. And when you look at the pancreas, you have something inside the pancreas that's called the islands of Langerhans. This is the spleen. This is the duodenum, this 9-inch intestinal tract. This is the gallbladder. And these are the blood vessels feeding this thing. The pancreas is in control of over 4,000 enzymic reactions in the body. The pancreas is not only the most important, but it's the most active digestive organ within inside of the body. This right here is called the islands of Langerhans. Inside the islands of Langerhans, you have these cells. You have the alpha cells. The alpha cells produces glucagon, which raises glucose in the blood. You have the beta cells. The beta cells produces something called insulin, which lowers the blood in the cells, or it actually acts as a key mechanism to open the cell up to drop off glucose for ATP reductase. Or you have something called the delta cells. The delta cells create something called simultostatin, and this is a pituitary growth hormone. So you have to figure out what's going on. Is these being eaten by acids? Is it a parasite in there? So now we got to start eliminating. I'm going to automatically deworm you and put you on a parasite elimination kit, just in case it's a cankerworm or a hookworm or a fluke worm, Phascolopsis bucci, toxoplasma, some type of pleomorphic biological entity inside of the pancreas. I'm going to have to kill it off. So I'm going to automatically put you on my parasite elimination kit, period, to make sure I'm deworming you. While I'm deworming you, now I got to worry about the electric part. So I'm going after the adrenals, because it could be that the melanin neurotransmitters, not only is it not connecting with your heart and causing you high blood pressure, but it's not connecting to your beta cells and telling your beta cells, hey, be a key and unlock the cellular membrane for I can get glucose into the cells, for I can get ATP. You see what I'm saying? Now, since I know that that's not happening, I bet you that you're building up fungus too. You're building up fungus and you're building up sugars, and you're fermentating a lot because you're not getting glucose within the cellular membrane quick enough. So guess what that sugar is going to do? It's going to ferment. And that's where you get toenail fungus from, fingernail fungus from. And that's why you said you had toenail fungus. So we have to fix things like that. Now, in order to go after the pancreas, you have to go after each individual endocrine gland inside of the body. We have something called the Sensual Glandular Kit on the website. But look, I done offered you 4 types of different kits and one, because you have so many different types of diseases going on. So what we're going to have to do is mesh these kits together and create something called a geogenetic therapeutic package to help you out here. Now, remember, whenever it comes to the endocrine system, you have to go after the berry kingdom. Berries, berries, berries. Berries are good for the 7 computer stimulators in your body, or what we're going to call the endocrine system, or the glandular highway, or some people actually call the 7 chakras. And it's good for the neurological functioning. So berries, juniper berries, hawthorn berries, Cassandra berries, vitex berries, chase berries, goji berries without the hulls. There's so many different berries that I got on my herbal shelves out there that'll blow your mind. But you're gonna need these berries not only for the for the anthocyanins, but you're gonna need them for the antioxidant properties too, for it can make its way to the brain and make its way to the actual pancreas and start healing. I have never seen any neurological disease get healed off vegetables, and I've never seen any neurological disease get done off of just fruits missing berries. You have to have berries whenever you're trying to heal any type of neurological disease. And your neurological diseases is diabetes. A neurological disease is high blood pressure, because now you're messing with the melanin neurotransmitters that's telling these organs what to do. See, this is holistic healing. We just can't heal one without the other. We got to go after the whole entire mechanism to heal the body.